Says he'll retire if Ben beats him. Can you see where that thought process comes from? Obviously Conor stepping up 2 weights, the amount of bad blood there's been.
Yeah, maybe then you just don't know. Maybe where does he go from there if Conor beats him? I'm not trying to say Conor's any lesser, but yeah, Chris is obviously the guy who should beat him because he's a lot heavier, maybe more seasoned, but you know, it's definitely a 50-50 fight in my eyes. I think Conor's going to beat him. So yeah, you can see where that thought process comes from. But you know, who knows? I know Chris likes to play poker a lot, so maybe comes back for the money or something.
Darren Till isn't holding back when it comes to Chris Eubank Jr.'s latest bombshell statement. If Conor Benn beats him, he's retiring. That's a bold claim, but Till understands the reasoning. Benn is making a massive jump in weight, and given the history between these two, a loss for Eubank would be devastating. However, Till doesn't see this as a guaranteed win for Eubank. In fact, he believes it's a razor-close 50-50 fight. Eubank has the size, experience, and durability, but Benn's relentless aggression and explosive style could pose serious problems. The big question is whether Eubank truly means what he's saying, or if this is just a psychological ploy. Till points out that Eubank loves playing mind games, so this could be a setup for an even bigger payday if Benn pulls off the upset. Will Eubank actually retire? Or is this just another high-stakes poker move to keep everyone guessing?
I don't. I think Chris is leaps and bounds ahead of Conor. You know, his experience, the guys he's been in with. You know, take away the weight because you know Chris is obviously going to be disadvantaged in there with the weight as well. But just ability, you know, boxing skill set is on a completely different level.
Harlem Eubank isn't mincing words. Chris Eubank Jr. is levels above Conor Benn. According to Harlem, this fight isn't just about weight or power. While the world focuses on size and the weight cut, he sees a much bigger gap, one defined by elite experience, superior boxing IQ, and the ability to perform under pressure. Chris has been through wars against top-tier opposition, while Benn, despite his aggression and knockout power, has yet to be truly tested in deep waters. However, there's a twist. Eubank will be at a weight disadvantage, draining himself to meet the limit. Will that level the playing field, or will his skill set still shine through? Benn's relentless style could turn this into a firefight, but Harlem is convinced his cousin is simply operating at a different level. The moment of truth is approaching, and Harlem is confident that Chris will expose Benn's inexperience and prove why he belongs among boxing's elite. Who do you think takes this explosive showdown? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
I've got enough left in him to deal with someone who's going to be lots of energy, and Ben is really what he is. He hasn't really boxed at the caliber of Eubank, so it's like Ben's been calling me out for years. He's the best guy calling people out, not fighting them. I think he's called every person out on the face of the earth and never fucking fought him. And he's just waited out for this Eubank fight. Yeah. But it's fucking funny.
Josh Kelly isn't holding back. He's questioning whether Chris Eubank Jr. still has enough in the tank to handle Conor Benn's relentless energy. But at the same time, he's not entirely convinced by Benn either. The real question is whether Benn is as good as he claims, given that he's never truly faced opposition at Eubank's level. Kelly doesn't stop there. He takes direct aim at Benn's history of calling fighters out without actually stepping into the ring with them. He points out that Benn has spent years throwing out challenges, yet somehow, those fights never materialize. Even worse, Kelly believes Benn is simply biding his time, chasing one massive payday while keeping the hype alive. So, is Benn's strategy a stroke of genius? Or is it all just smoke and mirrors? When the moment of truth arrives, will he back up his words, or will he once again find a way to sidestep the real challenge?
I believe Chris is going to win.
But you don't want Conor Benn to win, do you?
Listen, I want Chris to win.
Why?
Because of certain situations, I want Chris to win.
You've been very tough on him on the last 2.5 years.
Not tough, mate.
Yeah, no, he's
Not
been
tough.
exonerated. I think you've been very strong the whole way on it. Let's not get a microphone slapped out of my hands.
Let me say this. Let's do this. He's been cleared. It's a difference. He's been cleared.
He's been exonerated, yeah.
He's not proved his innocence. He's been cleared. Let's make this right. Let's put it on the line.
Spencer Oliver didn't hold back in his scathing criticism of Conor Benn, refusing to let the failed drug test controversy fade. He made it clear, no PR stunt can erase what happened. hammering home that point with relentless conviction. But Oliver didn't stop at Benn. He also took aim at boxing authorities, accusing them of blatant favoritism. In his view, being legally cleared to fight doesn't equate to proving innocence. Even worse, Oliver believes that allowing Benn to move forward without proper accountability sets a dangerous precedent for the sport. However, things took an interesting turn when Gareth A. Davies fired back. He fiercely defended Benn, dismissing Oliver's criticism as an unfair attack. The real debate now is whether Benn should still be judged for his past, or if he truly deserves a fresh start. The pressure is on. Will Benn silence his critics once and for all? Or will the ghosts of his past continue to overshadow his career?
No, we are on good terms. I don't believe he didn't know about it.
No,
If he,
you know I didn't know.
no, I don't, because I think you're a little bit snaky.
No, you know I didn't
No,
know.
no, no.
Don't talk.
No, no,
Don't
no, no. Quiet, because
No. You can't say things.
No, stop, because
You
then I'll
can't say
take you
things.
through it. Listen, I've been very nice to
Yeah,
you
but you
lately.
can't say
And I've
things
been very
after.
nice to you lately. I've given you a big education the
Yeah, but
last
you
couple of
can't
weeks.
say things
I've told
after.
you were very lucky to be talking to me. Right. But we do get on well. We actually have a bit of banter. He actually, if you don't mind me saying, he was asking me potentially to go and box.
Even worse.
Smith wasn't just frustrated. He was absolutely seething over the escalating tension, making it clear he wasn't buying the claims of ignorance being thrown around. While everyone involved appeared to be on good terms publicly, Smith saw right through the thinly veiled excuses, calling out what he believed to be a calculated and sneaky approach. But he didn't stop there. Smith openly vented his frustration over constantly being accommodating, only to be met with subtle dismissals and a clear lack of respect. He made it known. He'd had enough. Then, just when it seemed like things couldn't get more heated, Smith flipped the script. He unexpectedly lightened the mood with a few laughs, catching everyone off guard. The contrast was striking, especially when he playfully teased the idea of joining them on Boxer's Beat, leaving many wondering if there was a hidden message behind his words. Now, the moment of truth approaches. Will this situation erupt into a full-blown fallout? Or is there still time to mend the cracks before it's too late?
Fired up.
Connor's his dad's son, and his dad's exactly the same. And the Eubanks and the Benns, they know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and so there'll always be that family rivalry going on. And so, Chris's aloof personality, riles Connor, like his dad did, with their dads did. So he knows exactly what he's doing.
Meanwhile, Johnny Nelson isn't holding back in his analysis of Conor Benn, calling out the fighter for crossing a dangerous line with his reckless comments and erratic behavior. For Nelson, Benn's unpredictability isn't just a minor issue. It's a serious concern that can't be ignored. On the other hand, when the focus shifts to Chris Eubank Jr., Nelson has nothing but praise. He highlights Eubank's relentless dedication, unwavering consistency, and unshakable commitment to building his own legacy. Despite the distractions, Eubank has remained resilient, keeping his eyes firmly on his goals. But here's where things get heated. While Eubank stays locked in on his mission, Benn's off-the-ring drama continues to make headlines, constantly overshadowing his potential. This lingering controversy creates a cloud of doubt, leaving fans and experts questioning whether Benn can truly rise to the occasion. The burning question remains: can Benn silence the noise and let his performance speak for itself? Or will the chaos and controversy derail his career when it matters most?
With Chris, this is purely business. This is purely business. I don't think he quite likes him very much, but I'm telling you now, it's a good thing that Conor's in Spain. Because imagine them two bumping into each other on London High Street on a Sunday afternoon.
We don't need that, do we?
No one needs that, no one wants it, but it's inevitable. So you literally have to navigate your way through these camps and keep these two boys away from each other, because
keep the lid on.
I've been there with this kind of animosity, and I've been there with this kind of domestic rivalry. It eats away at you. It's not nice. No. It literally eats away at you. It's on your mind daily, and you just, it gets to it's an intense build-up.
On the other side, Tony Bellew isn't holding back when discussing the brewing rivalry between Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. He makes it clear, this isn't just a fight, it's personal. Bellew highlights that the bad blood between these two runs much deeper than the sport itself. Years of tension have been simmering beneath the surface, making this far from a typical matchup. The animosity is so intense that Bellew warns a neutral setting could easily spiral into chaos if these two are in the same room. He also emphasizes the mental strain that comes with a personal rivalry like this. Drawing from his own experience, Bellew explains how grudges can consume a fighter's mind, affecting every aspect of their performance. As the pressure builds over time, the outcome becomes increasingly unpredictable. Bellew predicts this fight won't just be a technical contest. It will be a war of emotions, transcending boxing itself. The big question is, can these emotions be contained until fight night, or will the personal vendetta explode before they even step into the ring?
Yeah, there's no honour in smacking someone with an egg. Shouldn't have happened.
How do you think the fight's going to play out?
I'm backing Conor Benn. I know Conor. I spoke to him a few times. Always been a top bloke to me. His dad's a top bloke. His dad's a legend, and I'll be backing him. But it's going to be difficult, as he's already alluded to, the two weight divisions coming up. But it'll also be difficult for Eubank to stay within that hydration clause. I think it is. So it's all to play for.
Johnny Fisher isn't holding back. He's fully backing Conor Benn, and his reasons are crystal clear. Benn isn't just another fighter. He carries a legacy, the son of a boxing legend with the heart and spirit to match. Having had multiple in-depth conversations with Benn, Fisher has no doubt about his skills and his readiness to meet the challenge head-on. But here's where it gets intense. This fight is anything but easy. Benn is making a massive leap, stepping up 2 weight divisions, a monumental challenge that he's fully aware of and has openly acknowledged. However, the real question now is whether Chris Eubank Jr. can handle the pressure of the hydration clause. Fisher believes this could be Eubank's Achilles heel, potentially shifting the entire dynamic of the fight. This isn't just another matchup. It's a defining moment for both fighters to solidify their legacies. Benn has the heart, the fire, and the raw talent to go the distance, but from the first bell to the last, this battle will be brutal. The stakes couldn't be higher. Who will rise to the occasion, and who will crumble under the pressure? The tension is at an all-time high, and only time will tell.
Yeah, I think the difficulty for Conor Benn in this fight is the weight and is the size. I think he's a better fighter. And I think at a natural weight class, he's a big favourite in the fight. But coming up 2 weight classes, it makes it a 50-50 fight. And you ain't going to blink in this.